A changing and very active jet stream may bring a megastorm to parts of California, dropping potentially feet of snow. And the clash of the air masses may bring severe weather back to parts of the U.S. All this and more on today's update. Welcome back, weather nerds. I'm meteorologist Greg Majeski, your host, and welcome back to the channel. And you know, as we get further into November, things are really going to start to get active. It's definitely looking more and more likely. And ground zero for the first big storm coming in is California. The European overnight model really caught my attention with the fact that it's dropping upwards of 6 feet of snow in the Sierra Nevada. And you see even seeing the snow spreading across areas of Utah as well as Nevada as we go through the next 10 days, taking us out to late in the day on the 16th. And now eventually that storm system is going to be moving into the country, and with a warmer air mass in place, things could get very active indeed. Let's take a close look at the models. Looking at the latest European model here, the jet stream showing a very active pattern that will be developing as we head deeper into the month of November. What we're watching is there is an area of low pressure that's going to be dropping down. It is dropping down out of the Gulf of Alaska and kind of plowing down here into Northern California. Now, we're also seeing here on the model run is a clear indication that the subtropical jet stream is also starting to get a little more active. And as these things push the weather systems out into the middle of the country, it's going to be running into some very warm air. So that cool air is going to clash with the warmer air, and that's why we're looking for the potential for some severe weather later this month. So tracking that active storm coming out of the west and moving into this warmer air mass, this is the climate outlook here from days 8 through 14, and you're seeing some very warm air out here in the plains, and a good ingredient that you need when you get the cold air clashing into that warmer air. Not to mention you're going to have an active subtropical jet. So the dry conditions that have been impacting a lot of the country, I think, are going to be coming to an end. And also seeing this on the Climate Prediction Center for days 8 through 14 as well. You're seeing, again, above normal precipitation from California stretching there out into the plains as well. So you're looking at some very active weather coming in that's going to bring in some wet conditions for a big portion of the country. So you see all this right in here with above normal conditions, and even down here along the Gulf Coast and down along areas of the Carolina coast and Florida, looking at above normal precipitation as well. So breaking down the next 10 days, looking at the European model precipitation outlook, the one area we're going to watch is going to be here across the high plains. We've got this area of low pressure pulling out of the plains near Kansas, and a little disturbance that's going to hook up there across the Great Lakes, and it's going to push into the northeast and bringing in some mixed precipitation across the areas of Vermont and over to New Hampshire, and little snows across the Great Lakes. Then we'll be looking down toward the south as we head toward Friday. This is going Thursday into Friday of this week, going into the 9th and then into the 10th. Some rain across Arkansas and down toward Texas. Unfortunately, it's not going to mount on us. It kind of fizzles on out as it moves in to the southeast once again. That's been kind of a trend over the last few days there with that. And then up toward the northwest, another little disturbance coming into Washington State will bring in some snows there as well. And then this big area of high pressure is just going to kind of settle into the northeast there. Easterly wind, get some rains across the southeast once again along the Georgia coastline. And then a disturbance is going to roll out of Mexico into Texas. That'll bring some heavier rains there, but it's going to run into that area of high pressure again along the eastern seaboard again. So that heavier rain that's going to fall into Texas and Louisiana is going to lose some of its punch as it moves into the southeast. Then finally on the tail end of this run, as we shift back over toward the west coast, a very vigorous storm system that will be moving into the California coast. 988 millibars, a pretty strong area of low pressure moving into Northern California. That's going to dump copious amounts of snow along the Sierra Nevada and Northern California. Are going to get lots of snow out of this. It's a pretty strong low pressure system that'll be moving on in there and dumping in a lot of snow as we go through time. And this will be lasting several days. So this is still going into, we're talking starting on Monday of next week and going into about Wednesday. So around the 16th, still looking at some potent snows there. And then finally tracking inland as we go through the day on the 16th on Thursday. And this tracks inland. And then where it goes from there beyond the 10-day, that's when things get interesting, where because of all the unusually warm air out into the plains with this storm system pulling out of the Intermountain region beyond the 10-day, that's when we could potentially see some active severe weather as this strong storm system pulls out into the plains. Thanks for watching today's report. If you could please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, as well as hitting that notification bell. That way you're instantly informed whenever I upload new content. It's a pleasure to serve you, and we'll see you on the next report. Have a good day.